Alright, we're back at the box now. I've already been into this thing so many times, I just got this one screw that's holding it on. But otherwise, there's 4 screws that holds this box cover closed. Each one of these holes. And there you go, there's the inside of it. I've got my arm here beside me, and I'll show you these measurements that they want you to do. This is a quick connector, so you don't have to take the thing apart every time you want to do it. It just sits right here. There's actually 2 spots for arms. You got a right arm and a left arm. That's if you've got a double gate and you want to open both the arms at the same time. But otherwise, this thing just sits on there like that. Down here, that's your transformer. Your transformer is supposed to put out between 34 volts DC is the new one. The old one just used to be 24 volts, and then they upped it to 34 volts, and it varies, and it plugs into this terminal right here. You got your 2 battery leads right here. That's how you get your 24 volts, and that's your power LED. As long as that's lit, it's got power on it. You take this transformer off, this little LED will go out. That's right there. It will go out eventually, and then that means the board's running solely off of the batteries. Plug that dude back in, that LED ought to light back up. It may be kind of hard to see because of the light out here. You can operate this gate manually without the deal on the inside of the panel just by using this single button. And of course now it's going to work and it'll stop. Okay, that's what it's supposed to do. Okay, now it just stopped. Now look, see, it's blinking the 2 LEDs. I hope you can see that. All right. So the 2 LEDs on the diagnostic means that the arm is disconnected. That's what it tells you anyway. So the way they want you to check this, so a couple of preliminary checks. You want to check these 2 down here at the bottom. This is your 24 volt. It's right there. Now see, since they've used some of the battery, it's charging. It's got 33.82. That's close enough to 34 volts. Supposed to. Another place you should have power and ground on is this accessory one right here. And so you got about 32 volts there, which is fine. Okay, if you notice this diagnostic LED quit, this thing has got a timer on it. So when it times out, it won't have any voltage there. Okay, we're going to check the white and the green one first. You push the button. Of course, nothing happens. There it starts flashing. So, got white and a green. And see, it shows on white and green, if it's not moving, it could be anywhere between 0 and 4.6 volts. But it should have about 2.5 volts moving. So what you do is you take and you pull out these 2 motor terminals. And that LED has to be flashing for this to work, because like I said, it times out. So after a certain amount of time, it shuts the circuit down. All right, so you got that out. Now this is going to take some two-handed deal, but if you watch the meter, what I'm going to do, we're going to touch the white, the green and the blue, to that accessory. The thing is once you touch it, that motor start moving. So this is going to happen pretty quick. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. Push your button. Okay, so there's your flashing. You get your white and your green. Okay, and then touch your motor. It's got 2.43 volts moving. Okay, so that means that that's seeing, it's getting the right voltage back to, that means your motor sensor is working. And we already checked all the dip switches, so we know that's working like it's supposed to. So the only other thing that's going to be the issue with is going to be in the circuit board itself, because we've already tested the motor and we've tested the circuit board, or the all the switches, so we know that's good. So we've basically got a board that's gone bad, and more than likely it's a capacitor that's on the board that's burnt up. So there you have it. It's pretty simple. A couple of other ones that you can check: the yellow and the white. Should have anywhere above 6 volts on it. Since we're all the way extended, should have 6.4 volts. I got 6.5. Basically, I got the terminals backwards, but if you want to go this way, there you go, 6.5 volts. So we know the switches are working, so it's definitely got a board issue. So we're going to put a board in it. So unplug your power pack and unplug your 2 batteries, and then your power will go out. As long as your power LED's out, you're good. All right, pull your quick release terminal off. Pull the quick release terminal off down here. That's for your power. Then there is a screw down here for the ground. By the way, the batteries are usually good for about 2 years on these things. I got almost 4 years out of the last one. I guess I was lucky. But everybody I've talked to said they were surprised I got that long out of them. Alright, since we're just putting a board in it, it's exactly the same, we're just going to take all these quick terminals off, because that'll make it that much easier. So just pull that one off. Pull your antenna lead off. Now, being as this one is such sad shape, if you notice, the speaker down here is wired to the accessory power. So being as that's kind of nasty and rusty up there, we're going to go ahead and just take that one out and replace it, because the alarm will help you with diagnosing it if something goes wrong. So just pull that one out and pull this power lead out. Okay, so you got your speaker out of the way. Alright, to get this board out, the easiest way to do this, there's 4 screws. There's one up here. Just loosen it. Don't take it all the way out. Just loosen it. Take that one loose. And then the same thing down here. Alright, then this whole thing picks up like that, pops right out. And there's your 2 batteries. You can get these on Amazon pretty cheap. One of the gate companies around here wanted to charge $159 for the pair of batteries. I bought these pair of batteries for like $50 shipped to the door, and they make some higher amperage if you wanted to do that. But the transformer, by the way, I did replace also. This is the transformer for it. This transformer was like $68 shipped to the door, and it comes with new leads on it, just doesn't come with this quick connect. So all right, let me get this board swapped over and I'll get back with you. Okay, so we got the board swapped over, and we're just gonna put it back in. No difference. Looks like they might have made an update or two here and there, but nothing huge. So let's put this dude back in. Put it over your 4 screws. This antenna wire should go in front. Give a little more room that way. It'll slide on the screws a little easier too. There we go. On there, slide it down and tighten them up. Okay, there's that. Put your antenna lead back on. There we go. All right, your alarm wires, your negative goes up here at the top. Tighten that screw down there. And then your positive goes down here, this accessory power, which will fold this other wire back behind so you can see a little better. It goes right there in that slot. Tighten that dude up, just like that. This ground wire down here, now this was bent a little bit when I got in here, but don't forget this little green ground wire. That through there. Okay, now we got that started. Flip that back around. There's this ground rod. Goes in there something like that. Tighten up your ground rod. There we go. Okay. Now, if we can get this, yeah, get that terminal block off there. That dude's gonna sit right down in there. Plug your terminal in there. Take this block off over here. Because that's where this one goes. Just like that. Get that hooked up. Okay, the only thing we don't have hooked up is the gate. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pop this dude off, because we're gonna have to set the limits of the gate. So for the time being, just in case we've got another problem, let's put this back together. No, that isn't exactly what I wanted to happen, but that's all right. Oh, it comes apart easy enough. All right, so let's put that back on there for the time being until we can get the limit set and make sure everything works. All right, so let's get the arm back in place. All right, so get that. So let's get the board plugged back in. Got your 2 batteries. Okay, we got a power LED and we got a stop LED. Let's get the transformer plugged back in. That light's green. Okay, if you notice, my diagnostic LED is blinking, so we need to count the number of blinks. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, got 10 blinks. Okay, basically that means EEPROM set limits have failed. Need to set the term limit there, the gate limits. So we're going to learn the limits. So set open limit. So we're basically going to hold down that button there and the gate's moving. So we want it so it's almost okay, that looks good there. All right, so we've got that one set. So let's go to the other one. The alarm sounded, so that means you go the other way with it and set your close limit. Okay, it just barely tapped the board, so we're going to leave it at that. So okay, we saved it, and now the gate is operating. It should stop about where we set it, and it does. So let's push the button again. And back the other way it goes. and it just tapped it and it's closed. And if you notice, my diagnostic LED is off. So that means we have a functioning gate again. And if you watch the LEDs, it should light up when it says open. So the single button. Alright, so that works. Let's see how long the timer holds on. Because it should time out. It's got a timer. See, it says there's a timer running. It's flashing. There it goes. So that's pretty short. We could probably adjust that a little bit. To do that, I'll turn this blue one up just a little bit. Something else that you want to adjust is the force. That's how much force it takes to reverse in case it hits something. So we're going to turn that down a little bit. Now, if this thing hits something, that was pretty minor. Okay, it didn't take much to do that. So I'd say that's okay. Now that's what it's supposed to do too. Once it sees a backup like that, it'll just stop. It'll back off a little bit from whatever it touches and stop. The only way you get it to close is hit the button again. There you go. So that is the repair of an LA400 gate. The only thing you got left to do is to program the transmitters. So, because it's got a different receiver module in it. So, I hope this video helps you out. I know it's a little long and drawn out, but, you know, I got some information from Chamberlin that helped me diagnose it, which was great. I just wanted to spread it along. So, hope this helps you. I'm going to finish putting this back together. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. God bless you, and have a wonderful day.